Welcome back to the channel, people. Week in a life of a real plumber, real world challenges. Let's go. So we're in Mayfair this week, always up west anyway. I told you before, we're uptown boys. So you're always going to see nice fancy cars like this to give you a little bit of motivation to start you off from the vlog. But the reality is that we're doing work. I did see some classics. This Audi, I want to know what it's called. If anybody knows, let me know in the comment section, because I know you don't know about cars. I like cars, but I don't know everything about them. That's the truth. Yeah? But we've got this pipe freezing problem today where we've got to freeze the pipe on the hot side because there is no isolation valve there. And this happens many a times in the real world of doing plumbing, is that you come to do some work or someone wants you to do something prior, but you realize that there's no valves, so you can't isolate the water. So what are you going to do? You're going to get the pipe freezing kit, you're going to set it up, and then you're going to put on the valves which you need to be able to isolate the appliances, which this feeds a basin tap. So that's why I call it an appliance. Again, we got it done. Managed to get my cutters on there. Always have your wet vac just in case, you never know, and get that isolation valve on ASAP, because yeah, you don't want them problems in getting the place wet. So I also had to isolate another hot feed going towards a shower mixer, but this one was just the worst. It was at the funniest angle. This is in a small little cupboard, and I tell ya, you guys have got to stay away from the Oreos. You got to stay away from the Haribos, fat fingers and all that. They just won't make it work when you're doing plumbing nowadays, because some of the tight spaces I struggle, and I'm a 6'3" man, right? So I'm just saying to you lot, if you've got big hands and all that, I don't know how you're going to get to places, because this was just about obviously making sure the valves were isolated, but making sure I didn't flood the place as well, because what I found was that I put it on before and it was not sitting on it properly. And this is the reason why I showed you my watch, because we stayed for time so I could get this right. And it's just so I could put a stop end on there and then also isolate again and come off of that hot, which was coming off that hot tap. So we teed off that. That's me saying it properly. I put the isolation valve below the tee and I teed it off like that way. So anyway, you can see it. And anyway, that was what a customer wanted. And you know, like doing plumbing jobs, yes, many a times you'll do stuff what customers ask you, what you know is going to be the problem way how to do something, or it's going to be the most strenuous for you. I think it was the most strenuous and problematic way how to do something, but there was no other options in that scenario. So you're thinking, what the hell is this? Are we looking at a concrete wall? We're looking at a shower mixer valve, which is in the wall, people. And we've obviously got to take this one out. I've made a whole video which is just talking, breaking it down and explaining like what we done step by step. But this video is just going to be how much work went into removing the concrete. Oh my God. It's a good thing I had my eye protection with me. I had my do-rag on at the time because I just got a fresh trim. And yeah, I weren't messing it up for all this dust. And it was so much dust just doing it. But having the SDS bit and just knocking through it made so much sense, because on the other side, yeah, it's like a marble, so you don't want to crack the marble with too much vibration. So these are the things what you got to be mindful of, but you got to understand what you're doing, innit? You don't want to be doing too much, because when you're doing too much, that's when problems happen when you're working. So take your time. And I did take my time. This is just speeded up just so you guys can see all of the process, what goes into just replacing a shower valve. And this is a dual shower valve. Well, this is more than a dual shower valve, because dual means two. And this goes to the bath. It goes to the shower head, which is at the top. And it goes to a shower, which is sitting on a hose as well. So a handle hose shower. But you know what I mean. That's how this thing is fed. We've got the two bits of 22mm, which are the hot and the cold, and we've got at the bottom, I'm quite sure it's for the handheld shower, and at the top is coming out for the bath. Again, this process, chisel, hammer, breaking little bits down just so I can get to the pipe work. again, this was a process which I was on my knees working for. I will tell people now, go and get yourself a kneeling mat, innit? As much as you think it's a granddad sport, the way my knees were hurting me from when I got up from this day, yeah, I knew about it, innit? It felt like I was in the gym doing squats. Do you get it? But after a while, we've got it done. Started with the hot, isolated that, I cut that, and we're gonna put a cap over that or put some type of protection to stop the dust going in. Again, I'm cutting around the concrete just so I can get my cutters around the pipes because we're gonna cut them off, obviously, and we're gonna redo the rest of the pipe work. There you go. In goes my uncle with the plastic glove to be able to save and stop yourself from putting bits, dirt, debris, dust, concrete falling down and actually blocking up the pipe work. These are the things what you should do when you're working. I know a lot of people don't talk about it, but the reality is that's what's really happening today, isn't it? Strenuous day when you know you've got a day ahead of your work like this. It's just a lot to deal with, isn't it? At the beginning of the video, I showed you that I was up and ready at 6, right? So that's the time I've got to roughly leave to be able to get up to West End. And I know that travelling is a part of what I do, but I get so pissed off when I've got to work late and I know that I ain't going to get back in for ages. Prime example was this day. This day we actually went up to this apartment at about 11 o'clock. We didn't leave there till about 6 o'clock. It was dark. I mean, I was so pissed off that I didn't even want to talk because when you're working with people, I work for my uncle at the moment, which I have no problem with. I think it's been the best time for me. I think that at any time working with any parts of your family, you can have good days, have bad days, have days when you're just not in the mood. That person's not in the mood, innit? But I think you start to knuckle down and realise this is just work, innit? This is nothing personal. But I look at time as personal time, which I'll never get back. Maybe that's just me. But I definitely do enjoy working with my uncle. And I know that I'm helping him out at the moment because I don't know if you've seen enough times on camera. He's got something on his leg. He had a surgery on it. So it is stopping him from working. So I'm actually doing him a bit of a favour by working with him and keeping things going, innit? And I'm learning as well while I'm still going because you can never learn too much and never be afraid to ask questions. Again, if you got a mentor, you got someone on your side who's going to help you steamroll the industry, and it's just about the shit that you pick up in it. You choose to pick up bad habits, choose to not follow in those people's footsteps, choose to not understand the things what they're telling you about business. That's your business, isn't it? But I've tried to incorporate him a little bit more on my channel as well because I think it's part of my reason of me being a plumber. So I've most recently put out one video with him when we're in the van and we're giving van advice on plumbers, on people who are contractors. If you're a subcontractor getting into plumbing, there's a big bit of advice what he's got there for you. And I've done another video which was about self-employed people as well in the van conversation. I'm just trying to split my content up into different scenarios and seeing what ones are working the best really at the moment, because we're still on the threshold of trying to get to 4,000 subscribers. But I've realized that if I put out more quality content, more people will subscribe. So that's the plan, what I'm going with. So hopefully you guys stick around. You can watch different ones, innit? Like, because there will be split up into playlists of like van conversations. And what I'll do is I'll see what ones do the best. You know, like I'm going to keep doing these long episodes of Week in Your Life as well, because I've got so much content to be able to put out. And I think to myself, you know what? Why don't you just make it into one long video, man? Like, people will watch every single week, because I've watched a lot of people's vlogs, what they've had for every week. So you choose the platform for it, people. So I hope you're all here for it, because that's what you're going to get. I was definitely fatigued on this job, man, because like I said, I was there for a long time. After the day started to wear in without not having something to eat, I just started to feel a bit queasy after a while. But I just kept going at the end of the day, innit? This is what I'm doing at the moment, and this is what I'm actually really proud of doing. You should always be proud of what you're doing. Always take time. Patience is a virtue. My uncle always tells me about patience, patience, patience. I've lacked patience a lot in my adult life just because I've had a life where I've been able to have things, do things when I want. So therefore, I wouldn't say I'm spoilt, but I definitely look at things in a different way. I'm accepted that like other people are not so fortunate as myself to have someone who to work with and who can build your channel, make videos with you and stuff like that. Everybody doesn't have that. That's why I share this part of my life with you guys online and just show you like what it's like for me. Had a do-rag on this day because I wasn't fucking up my trim for no one. It was sharp. Probably gonna go and get a trim in the next couple days, but you know the vibes. Make sure you're wearing goggles as well, eye protectors. You know the last thing you want is a bit of concrete or something flying back in your face. Tidying up is so important, isn't it? And I think that if you're an uptown plumber like we are, you got to tidy up. You got to make sure the place is as clean as you came, if not even a little bit more cleaner. People want to know that you wasn't even working there an hour ago. It's that clean. And that's something you will see during my videos quite a lot. My uncle is Jamaican descent. Caribbean people have this thing about cleaning up and make sure the place is clean. Don't leave the place with no mess when you come. Don't leave it when you go. Perfect example. Growing up here, my dad never used to let me even eat in his BMW. I don't know. I did. Yeah, I bought chicken and chips back in the day, but guess what? Couldn't eat it inside my dad's car. Couldn't open a packet of crisps in the back. I'm being dead ass. And I understand why it's like that sometimes, because if you got nice things, you want to keep it clean, you want to keep it proper, and kids will mess it up, I suppose, to some degree. Mess will mess it up. So having a tidy toolkit, having a tidy workspace, tidying up your workspace as you go and not making sure that everything looks like a big bag of mess, it just works a lot better. You know, like we don't even have tools on the floor. I wish I could show you my tool layout and stuff like that, but you see it in a couple of the videos. I always put down dust sheets. There's a dust sheet below this. We've got the Hoover up there as well. We've got towels as well. And everything is turned off, so there shouldn't be any water coming out anyway. But the whole point is to be able to tidy up when you work. I think that's really important when it comes to, you know, doing the right thing. The more I think about it, yeah, you see this concrete wall, it was a nightmare to get through. When I mean a nightmare of a job, I mean just removing all of the concrete. You can see how long it's taken me. And I've had to speed up the video. And we'll keep on putting the valve over the holes just to make sure we got enough space. But that ain't even the problem yet, because the valves have caps that sit on them from the other side, right? And so the holes what are there are not even big enough. So the things what we've got to do, I mean, this is the reason why we was there so late. And I want to say the marble which is on the other side, which you will not see in this video, but I'm actually going to show you it just for the sake of it. I'm going to re-edit this video right now so I can show you the marble, which you can see right now, but you can understand the thickness of it is 20 mil thick, right? So initially we thought, oh, the shower mixer will just line up and we'll be able to get the caps on from the other side and tighten them up because they go up the thread. Oh no, that did not happen. That's why we was there for so late, because when we realized we've got to cut this, ended up trying to shave it down a little bit. That didn't work. Ended up using a diamond drill bit on it just to shape it right. That took forever. That was taking forever. I mean, the process, what goes into it. I mean, I'll just be honest. Next person that asks me for this, I've got to charge you a lot more. Even if it seems like it's going to be easy, it might not be easy. So be mindful of taking these showers out of concrete backgrounds and stuff like that, which are in the wall, because you will be there all day. And this is us labeling the pipe work. So we do a blow test down them. My uncle is in the other room and we are saying that this feeds the shower, this feeds the bath, this feeds the shower head on the top. And we're making sure we label them properly so we know what ones they are. You need to know this stuff. It's all information. And as you see, the cap goes back on it again, so no dirt and debris goes in it. I want you to understand something. In a little bit, yeah, we're going to go to another scene where I show you when we're tidying up, but it's just a quick time lapse. But I want you to deep and look at the background and understand it's light and then it gets dark. That's how long we're there for. So this day was long as hell, because now we're in the tidying up stage where there's so much concrete on the floor. Yes, I've got a lot into the bag. Yes, we've removed it, but we've still got the ache and the back breaking stuff of making that valve fit into that shape. Because we did say this is a Varlo shower mixer valve, and we said we wanted like for like. And the thing about dealing with a lot of merchants, any merchants, a lot of people don't know what they're talking about. They don't know what they're talking about. And if you want to see the video with all the pipe work and stuff like that, I've actually uploaded that video and I will leave it in the description box below where you can, just watch it, because that's a good video as well. And again, I told you about tidying up and how important that is, and leaving somewhere where like it looks like you've not been there before. This is the first time I used a Miele Hoover. I don't know if you guys have used them before, but they're the business. So obviously on this day we still tested as well. So we tested it, and yeah, we had problems. I'm not gonna lie, sometimes you just have problems. Like, it's not your fault. Some of the fittings we needed to tighten up a little bit, but we needed to make sure it fitted properly. And at this point, we're finding out why it doesn't fit. And this is us going back and forward, cutting it with the diamond piece, but also clearing up the dust as it goes. So my uncle has got the Hoover on one side, and I'm cutting it around with the diamond piece on the drill. And I tell ya, I'm lucky that I wasn't using my drill, because I was battering this drill. And my drill couldn't go through that because it's not supposed to be doing all that stuff. Do you know what I mean? It's just other people's equipment. Hopefully my uncle doesn't see this anyway, because at the end of the day, we just need to get the job done. And I wish that we got the angle grinder sooner to be able to cut through this marble-like material. When you see it, you've seen it already, so you know what I mean. But again, it's 20 mil thick, so it's not like the thickness of a tile. No, these are thick slabs. It just ended up being really long after this, because as you can see, the process of taking it in and out, keep on cutting it, going through bits. The drill bits are getting super baking hot. I'm just in the bath, just trying to cut it out, and it's just taking me all day. The bin from the Hoover is full. At this point, I'm just thinking, you know what? I don't know what we're gonna do. So at some point, I do say I'm gonna go and get that angle grinder so we can take this off. You can see how much tools we've got up there at the moment, and again, it's just become a process of walking back and forward, trying to figure out a way how you're going to do this, because you do face problems when it comes to being a plumber and being on site and being at somewhere where you've just got to be creative. You've got to be creative about installing something properly, because you know it can only be installed the right way once. So we're just trying to get that right while dealing with the rest of the hassles of the day. My uncle's phone does ring a lot, actually. My phone rings quite a bit for some jobs. Shout out to people contacting me through my social media pages and stuff like that. I do appreciate that. Do get a lot of jobs coming in. When I started to show a lot of the work what we do, I have had quite a lot of messages, like people on the tap put in, people on the radiator put in, other little bits, which is it's all what we do. And I think me doing these week in a life is actually showing people the variation of work what we do inside all different types of properties. This goes on for a while, so hoovering, cutting. Yeah, like I said, my uncle's not really that, able to do that much stuff. As you can see, the leg brace is still on him. But we're getting there, innit? And it's just going back and forward. And again, now you can see me trying to cut it with the diamond piece from this side. Just getting worked up about it. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna lie. And I got a pet peeve with Makita batteries. Makita batteries, I find, I'm gonna say it now, man. They might be one of the worst batteries for holding charge and for charging up. They take the longest. My Milwaukee M18 would have done this no problem. We've had to plug the charger in so we can charge up because I was obliterating the batteries on the drill. But at one point, we just cut it with an angle grinder and it just came off instantly. Again, I was so happy that this job was over, to be honest with you, because this day was just killing me. It was killing me, absolutely killing me. Just take in the background now. It's getting dark. You see what I mean? If you want to be a good plumber, if you want to be a good heating engineer, have some patience. Everything isn't going to go to plan all the time. Ups and down days, swings and roundabouts. That's what they call it, sons. So today, got the M12 drain cleaner out. We are unblocking a drain which is in a kitchen. We've put some chemicals down there already. The chemicals didn't work. They're supposed to break things up. They said that they were still getting a kind of a bit of a build up. So what we done is we got the Sandy Snake on it, specifically the M12 version. I've had this for about 3 years now. It has saved me and got me through so many jobs. Paid back for it after the second job. So it's good investment. I'm thinking about getting the M12 one. I'm going to show you on the screen which one I'm talking about. I'm going to get that. That's going to be my next purchase for myself. I say for myself like it's like a car or something. It's not. But I will make bloody money out of it. I'm telling you that for free. This trap here, I don't like the way how it was put in because you got, after the trap, you've got an elbow, then you've got another elbow, then you've got an elbow behind that swept. I don't know who does all this, but do you know what? Like, you're just doing no favors for anyone, innit? Because once the water goes down to the trap, it has to go up and over, hit another bend, then hit another bend to go out. Its course is going to be slow. Look, you can see it here. I did try and rod from that part first, that first elbow, and then I realised, you know what, that swept is going to be a lot easier because it's less kinks or less bends that it has to go through. And you can see the coffee build up and the oil from here. So that was the main problem. I did always tell the customers what's up, but sometimes people don't really want to listen to you. So again, I keep my summaries kind of short and brief. We do give an engineer's report. So there is all the advisories and all of what we found on the report. Also, we're uptown plumbers, so we keep everything professional. And if you have got a slow running away shower or a sink and you want us to get round to you, look on my Instagram. My contact details are on there. We've got a booking service through that page as well, which you can book Mr. London Plumber through. So yeah, you don't have to just watch the videos, people. We can appear at your ass for a fee. That's just how it works. You get me? Cleared the line. And once you clear the line, I've learnt these things through so many other people, which is to take pictures before. I showed a video before, and then we do a video after as well. But you can clearly see the grease and you can clearly see the coffee, because that's what type of people they were coffee people, and they cook with a bit of oil, which most people do anyway. I also started to boil the kettle at this point, because putting down boiling hot water after you've cleared the line will clear any other bits of dirt, debris, oil, coffee. It will help push that down, because hot water moves stuff. Cold water doesn't, if you get what I mean. I learned that from seeing other people do that, to be honest. In this game, you can learn so much from others. All you've got to do is be the person who is willing to listen. Obviously, at times people will chat shit, but you got to decipher bullshit from the truth. But that's up to you, people. You know, most of us should be listening to a bit of Kirk Franklin on the weekend, especially on a Sunday, but you're not. And it's okay, because no one's judging you as well. Anyway, let's get back to the vlog. So at this point, I'm boiling water and I'm putting it down the waste. We've got to do that a few times, because it helps break up any of the fat, and it helps me use the people's kettles as well. Not really, I'm joking. But this is really important to do, though. Make sure you do this step and you don't just walk away and say, oh, it's clear. Because unless you're going to camera it, which we didn't do at this process, which you could do. I feel that is part of the service when you do it. But I personally haven't got that camera, so I haven't got the luxury of doing that. But I will do soon. And when I do, oh boy, the price is up. We are jumping. Least minimum of 500 to 600 to clear the line. But anyway, let's not digress too much, because I feel that this vlog is going perfect, just the way I wanted it to go, people. A little bit of talking, a little bit of breaking down conversation, and just you understanding that I'm Mr. London Plumber and this is the way how I do certain things. I've actually got that hard hat new version watch on, which I will speak about soon in one of my vlogs as well, because this is the one work watch which I wear all the time. Again, it's scratch proof, it's durable, it's meant for work. It's the business, trust me. Not promoting it, they don't pay me any money, but it's a really good watch. It's my second watch for me. Like you can see, we're getting that little spinning round of the water, running away beautifully, and I'm back on another day to go to another problematic job. Right, this in this kitchen. When I got there, the dishwasher was just full of water, but I tried to move it and there was water surrounding it from the bottom. This is the second one what I went to this week. The other one I couldn't really show it because it was like a favour job what I'd done for someone, so I don't really want to show their property. But this one I don't mind showing you. Right, so as I moved this dishwasher, I found, why is there water underneath? Right, must be leaking. But this marine ply, which the wood was sitting on, and underneath is the floorboards, the floor downstairs was getting wet. So this is kind of the problem. So I'm saying, nah. This dishwasher, it shouldn't be leaking at any point, even if I'm moving it. And why is the water just sitting in it as well? Is the pump not working? Is this? I don't really look at dishwashers. I know if dishwasher is plumbed in, has got power to it. I can check to make sure it's got any leaks. Am I going to start lifting it up to see if the pump seal's gone? Or no, I'm not doing that. That's not my job. It's not something what I do. I don't know enough about it to do stuff like that, so I don't. Because there are loads of different dishwashers, and getting the schematics for them, I mean, it's too much. What I will do is I'll find out what the generic problems are for that model of dishwasher, which anybody can find out by using the internet. If you subscribe to my channel, I can guarantee that the little things what I say to you at points, they're going to make you smarter and make it easier for you to be a bloody plumber. Not a bloody plumber, but a plumber. So always take pictures before and after. Anything what you see, take pictures of, because It will help you write a report, but it will also let you remember what you've done when it comes to writing your summary. So these things all go into writing a engineer's report. So remember this, because without the pictures, it's hard for me to tell the story. All good pictures have good stories. So just remember that. So once I actually identified where the leak was coming from, which was the dishwasher, I had to remove all the water, what was in the dishwasher, but also remove the marine ply and see what it had done to the floorboards underneath. These floorboards were in a very bad way, but it was like a vintage style type of thing. This was in a nice area, really nice area. Really, really nice. So what I done was I took some pictures, took some videos. I had to also clear the line as well inside there as well. So I actually used the drain cleaner again. So that was the next day. So the drain cleaner had been getting a lot of use. And I just want to say something, not because I want Milwaukee to sponsor me, but it is. I didn't even have to charge that battery once. I haven't even charged it now, and we're at the end of the next week. And I've used it again doing some other stuff. But I've got the 0.6 battery on there. Don't ever buy the really small ones. They're not really good. Have yourself a good torch, right? I've got myself the Nubo torch. It's super bright. 7,000 lumens, guys. That's all you need. Trying to adjust my camera so we got a good angle, because now it's the time for me to start clearing the line. And in this one, I found there was a lot of coffee beans as well. Just had to get the camera right there. I wanted to show you the place a little bit. So got myself ready with my waterproof gloves on, kneeling mat as well. Like I kind of showed you in the first other videos, I told you in the first other videos, is that we always put down a towel, always put down a rag and something which I can clean the line with when I pull it back in, because you need to do that. You need to get all the dirt and all the stuff off of it. There was a lot of coffee and oil from the other one. So I'm going to come out with a cleaning video actually, because I've realized some products what I need to buy so I can clean the drain cleaning machine, because I've used it quite a lot and it's starting to get a little bit rusty. So I want to make sure I bring it back to life, taking care of my tools, which take care of me every day as little investments. Just make stuff last a little bit longer, people. That's the truth, you know. It's nice to have this in a tub and stuff like that. And the machine isn't super loud as well, but I gather the next one what I'm going to get is going to be a bit more louder, and it's got a foot pedal as well. I'm actually really excited about getting that, and I can't wait to get that. I've waited for it to go down in price a little bit more. I'm going to see if I can get a deal or something, but I feel like I need it in my life. I feel it's going to make whatever I'm doing a lot easier. It's just, this machine is compact, innit? So you can get it into a lot of tight spaces. The other machine, you kind of just thread it in, and it's got a fast spinning chain, which I really like and I want to use as well. But I think you got to be kind of careful with the chain what you put on it, because of the type of waste pipes that you put it down, because I think it could break everything as well. This hasn't got a super fast RPM, I think it's called, which is the amount it spins by. I think this is quite low, but it does the trick. I mean, if you know how to use the machine does most of the work. And that's what you can see, the coffee granules in the coffee. I wanted to show a little clip. So I did use the kettle, and I left the tap on for a little bit to make sure the line was clear. And look, I had perfect evidence to show you how much coffee was on the line. But again, told the customer. But I do want to show you this clip, which is a part of my new series, which is me talking about being in a van. So actually working out how many hours I'm actually just driving for, not actually doing my plumbing job, is 12 hours driving. In a calendar month, that's roughly 48 hours, given or taken that there weren't no traffic jams, given or taken that there weren't any extra jobs to go to on the way home, which there is always. I'm on the way to one now. Well, I'm roughly looking at per year 576 hours of driving time. So that is a whole month I spend driving out of the year. That's crazy when you work it out. I'd been to wholesalers most recently, and I saw some people I used to work with back in the day in my apprenticeship, and I said to them where has been working. I've been working in Chelsea and stuff, Knightsbridge. I said, oh, I don't know how you do it with the travel and all that. They live further out in Essex, and 3.5 hours, 4 hours travelling is too much for anybody. I think you can get to Dover quicker sometimes and leave the country, but it's just the way it is in London. I think commuting, always got waves on in the back, always trying to work out a way around any build-ups of traffic. You know, if you hit traffic at the wrong time, fuck your day up. Be the end of that job. I'm finding myself that at certain points in the day, I know that like it's 4 o'clock now. I have to be on like the A406 on the way home, because if I'm not on the way home now, we're looking at getting home at like 7, which is a crazy time when you say that you've left your house at a minimum of 5:30 or even 7 at the latest. 7 is way too late to leave your house nowadays. You have to be on the road for like 6:15. I've really clocked that with working with the A406 and just trying to get from east to west London. And the amount of miles and petrol what you do, you know, I don't do them videos where I just break down everything, but you see like the rough figures, because you can work these things out. So roughly per week, yeah, doing 180 miles per month can vary from 780 a month to 800. So it's 180 a week, remember. On a yearly basis, that would be doing 9,500 a year. Petrol wise, average cost is anything from 2.2 to 2.5 per mile. Let's say 2.3. So petrol wise, again, we're doing £2,185. That'll get me 9,500 miles, right? Insurance, you know, is not cheap anyway. If you got a van, 180 to 250, depending on your age. A bit more if you're leasing it, more like 2,200. Tires, part of the maintenance as well and all that. Yeah, maintenance, tires and servicing, wear and tear of stuff, you're looking at 1,200 to 1,500. It's just to maintain a van, you know. If you lease, that's going to be like 1,400. Don't get me started on ULEZ and all that shit, paying tickets, congestion, parkings, fines and tolls, yeah? So that works out on an average of like 600 to 1,000 a month. And if you had like a long-term lease, like on a van, which was like 25k or so, the amount goes up and down, innit? Depending on what type of setup you have. So let me just talk you through it again. Your fuel, 2,180. Insurance, 2,200. Maintenance, 1,400. Yeah, let's just stop there. It's a lot of money, isn't it? So
Yeah.